What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Dragonflight video. I'm here with the gnomes. We're hanging out. We're all having coffee together. I just smacked them on the nose. They're not having coffee. I guess I'm just having coffee. They're slacking off back there. How's everybody doing? I want to talk about Marksman Hunter today. And we're going to talk specifically about like a raid build for single target. So, as always with these kind of raid style builds, I want to talk about the class tree for a second. I want to talk about defensives. What are you getting in Shadowland or in Dragonflight that we didn't have in Shadowlands? Pardon me. How does the class tree kind of shape out for Marksman Hunter in particular? And then we'll get to the spec side of the tree, and we're going to talk about all the stuff over here and what the build kind of entails. There's some really distinct advantages that I think Marksman Hunter actually gets over the other two specs, which is kind of cool for them when it comes to the tree. So let's just dive into it. Grab your coffees and let's dive right in. So let me move over here. So on the class side of things, there's some really cool, distinct advantages that I think Marksman Hunter kind of gets just right out of the bat. And number one is that you don't have to go to the left side of the tree. You don't have to take 2 points in Beastmaster, 2 points in Improved Kill Command, and 1 point in Alpha Predator, which arguably BM Hunter has to take this. Survival Hunter arguably has to take this as well. There are builds for Survival Hunter that can work with only 1 kill command, but pretty much you're going to want Alpha Predator, which means you have to spend 5 freaking points to get over here, which really limits the amount of points you can spend in the rest of this bottom half of the tree, because we only get, 10 points for the bottom section of a tree. So you can see it 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 points here. So if you have to spend 5 over here, then you only have 5 left, and you're very, very limited in kind of what you can do. So to me, that gives Marksman Hunter a distinct advantage in the bottom section of this tree to pick up things like Explosive Shot, or Death Chakram, or both, obviously, and then also to get serrated shots, which makes your Serpent Sting and bleed damage go up by 20%, excuse me. And then in Execute, it goes up even higher. You also get Arctic Bola, which, as we know, is the MVP. It's the MVP of all the DPS in your rotation, Arctic Bola. Look how much damage this does. Holy crap. Let's not look at that right now. I really don't know why they don't change this. It makes me mad, but it's fine. You also get, of course, Master Marksman, which was initially designed for Marksman Hunter, and obviously all the specs can use it now, but that was the initial design, and it works very, very well. You can see in my damage breakdown here, let's go back down to like 120. Sure, there we go. You can see Master Marksman dot is way up here. 10% of my damage. 10% of my damage from this talent, so it's pretty insane, okay? So that's the first advantage for Marksman Hunter. You don't have to get the kill command stuff, the pet stuff, so you can have more versatility here in the bottom of your tree. The second thing that's really good, let's talk about defensives coming into Dragonflight from Shadowlands. What are we gaining? As I talked about in the Survival Hunter video a couple days ago, we are getting Survival of the Fittest. Now, this is something that Marksman Hunter was getting anyway because they didn't run with a pet, because you run Lone Wolf, of course. So this isn't really a huge buff to Marksman Hunter as much as it is a buff to BM Hunter and to Survival Hunter. But it's still good that we get Survival of the Fittest, and we can have other buffs as well. Obviously, as we're seeing the talents here, Lone Survivor, buffing Survival of the Fittest, reducing its cooldown by 30 seconds and increasing its duration by 2 seconds. Or you can get the bigger 20% DR, so you get a 40% DR if you want to go that way. And you can also take Born to be Wild, which of course reduces the cooldown of Survival of the Fittest and aspect of the turtle. So similar to my Survival Hunter video, we're getting lots of healing from Natural Mending and from Rejuvenating Wind. So you get 20% of your maximum health when you heal with Exhilaration, and Exhilaration has its focus cost reduced. I only have 1 point into this right now, but it gets 1 second off of its cooldown every time you use 25 focus, which is very cool. So it's all good. Basically, defensive-wise, Marksman Hunter is looking the exact same as the other hunters. No one hunter has an advantage over the other. But we have Exhilaration, which is now a big, big heal. It heals you for 30% of your maximum health. Then it heals you for an additional 20% of your maximum health over 8 seconds, which is really good. Survival of the Fittest we have right now as a 2-minute cooldown, giving us a 20% DR, which is really, really good. It means that in a big boss fight, a raid fight, when Sludge Fist is slamming into the pillar, you don't have to pop Turtle. Instead, you could just pop Survival of the Fittest. You're still going to take damage, but you'll live. And then you can save Turtle for the next pillar or for something else that's going to instantly kill you, something else that you can actually immune. One big problem for hunters, I think, for a long time is that they've had to use their immunities on just reducing damage taken versus using their immunities for actual immunities in the fight that are required, that you might use like a paladin bubble or, of course, a hunter turtle. So now you get an extra defensive layer that you get to use instead of turtle. Also, turtle's going to have its cooldown reduced as well, so it's only 2.4 minutes, and this is only 2 minutes. So I really like the setup here defensively. Born to be Wild plus Lone Survivor with Survival of the Fittest, and then all the Exhilaration healing coming through. I think it's fantastic. It's really, really good. So that's the class side. That's all I want to say there for the class side. We get really good choices down here on the bottom because we don't have to take the pet stuff, and we have good defensives now, in my opinion. They're not in the bottom tier of defensives anymore like they have been for the past, like, 5 years. Hunters are finally getting a bit of a boost that way. Okay? So now, let's talk about the build. Let's talk about it. Specifically, we'll talk about the Spec Tree here and what you are going to do for a single target build. Remember, we're doing a single target build here, and we're going to talk about it right now. So one immediate distinct advantage that I think Marksman Hunter gets over a lot of other specs in the game is that they get to opt out of AOE damage altogether. This entire section right here is your AOE damage. Multi-shot, volley, the splash from kill shot, razor fragments, bleed splash. Your trick shot is over here, which is your entire, like, how AOE works for Marksman Hunter. Right, you press multi-shot, which doesn't do a ton of damage on its own, and then your aim shot and rapid fire will ricochet around. That's how Marksman Hunter works, right, for AOE. Your heavy ammo, light ammo, your salvo at the bottom here, you know, bullet storm, sharpshooter. This is your entire AOE package, and you can just literally avoid it for the single target build, and you can just go over here and take all your single target stuff, which is very, very interesting and very good in my opinion. Some things to note here that are going to show up kind of strangely on the dummy here. This dummy has no health right now because this warrior or whatever, whoever it is, has been, or this rogue has been beating the crap out of him. So careful aim means aim shot's going to do bonus damage to targets who are above 70% health. So on a raid boss fight, you're going to get tons of aim shot damage just right out of the gates. You're going to pop true shot, double tap, and you're going to double aim shot the boss. And he's probably going to lose like 2% of his HP just from that one combo that you do, because aim shot's going to be doing 50% more damage. So you kind of have this, the beginning of a fight, the opener of a fight for Marksman Hunter is huge. And then later on, you're going to be getting Bullseye. When your abilities damage a target below 20% health, you gain increased critical strike chance. So for the entire execute phase, you're getting up to 30% crit on a boss. So both of those are going to be kind of wonky when we're testing this, and I apologize for that, but that's just kind of the way it is. So what's this build all about? Really, not much has changed for Marksman Hunter. It's basically more of the same. So it's all about true shot, which of course reduces the cooldown and cast time of aim shot and rapid fire. And in particular, aim shot is what you're looking at because it does Giga Chad damage. So it does 32,000 physical damage. Rapid fire actually does 48,000 damage, but has a longer cooldown, of course. But with true shot, none of that matters. They cool down tremendously fast. What else are we getting now to buff the true shot? Because this is still an aim shot build for the most part. You can see my damage breakdown is 30% of it is aim shot. Rapid fire is right there. So what are we doing to continue to buff aim shot? Well, you have double tap is back, so you can do a double aim shot, which is great, or rapid fire can channel more. We have lock and load, which I think is actually the way to go. I've tried multiple different builds. I've tried Razor Fragment. I've tried putting in Deadeye so that when you trigger Death Blow, which gives you a free cast of Kill Shot, you can recharge it more quickly. And those didn't seem to perform super well. I did come down and get Windrunner's Guidance, but it doesn't seem to me to actually be... It didn't proc that often for me, giving me the 10 seconds of true shot. It might actually be really good, but I found the better way to go was to go down these two lines here. So we are getting lock and load, gives us a chance to have a free ability, and it procs quite often, gives us more aim shots. True shot supports aim shot, of course. This is Eagle Talon's True Focus is just the regular, how True Shot used to be in Shadowlands. They kind of forced us to take 3 talents just to get the True Shot, the real True Shot effect. So it reduces the focus cost of aim shot further, and arcane shot, which is really nice. You can get arcane shots in there. And then finally, we have a choice talent here. We have unerring vision. When true shot is active, you gain more crit, and then you do more critical strike damage. Or you can take calling the shots, which is sort of the traditional last talent row in Shadowlands, what we would take. Every 50 focus you spend reduces the cooldown of True Shot by 1.5. So that's what I'm taking. I really like that. And then the final piece is that we have Wailing Arrow, which does a bunch of damage to one target and then a lot of damage to other targets. So you'd be like, Zuko, it's like AoE. Why would you take this? It's going to do AoE damage. The main reason you take it is because of this. Wailing Arrow resets the cooldown on rapid fire and generates 2 charges of aim shot. So basically, you want to like fire off aim shot and rapid fire and have both of those gone, and then you fire Wailing Arrow, and then you're going to get aim shot and rapid fire back. It's very similar to Survival Hunter's Wildfire Bomb interaction with their coordinated assault cooldown, where you take coordinated assault, you take Bombardier, and you get your bombs back at the beginning and the end of what. So very similar idea here, where you want to dump all your big spenders and then press Wailing Arrow, and you're going to get them back with readiness. So that's it. It is mostly about aim shot, and I did take Legacy of the Windrunners here. I only have 1 point into it because I was noticing the damage of Legacy of the Windrunners is not that high. An important note, just to read this correctly, it says aim shot has a 25% chance to coalesce 3 extra wind arrows. So it's still, your aim shots will still fire their aim shot, but then alongside of that, you might get some extra wind arrows. They don't really do a lot of damage, which I was a little bit sad about. And it does say modifiers to aim shot damage also increases the damage of wind arrows. And I've just been trying to make sure I play this as correctly as possible, and I just haven't really been noticing that Legacy of the Windrunner arrows do a ton of damage. But they are extra damage, and I am pressing aim shot a lot. I pressed it 50 times. So you can see here the wind arrows down here, 1.7% more damage. Now, that being said, I did experiment with things like Razor Fragments and Deadeye, like I said, and they weren't doing that much extra damage either. So I think this is the build I want to go with for now. The important places that you need to go are down here to get Calling the Shots and readiness with Wailing Arrow, and I think Lock and Load is actually very important as well. So that's it. Let's get into this. Let's do an actual test here. I'm really hoping that this dummy resets all the way. Just give me a second for this training dummy to get back to full health, because I want to showcase some of the extra talents like Careful Aim and just get that bonus. Try to get a realistic look at how this would feel. So alongside this, of course, Evoker, please. I swear to God, Evoker, if you hit that thing. Alongside this, on the class tree, we're also gaining Death Chakram and Explosive Shot. Explosive Shot isn't doing that much damage in single target, but it's 2.6% of our damage basically for free. I just fire and forget. Death Chakram increases the damage that we deal to the enemy by 10% for 10 seconds. So very substantial, actually. You get 10% more damage. When your aim shots are hitting for like 100k or 71k here, 10% of that is another 7,000 damage. So very important. Okay, let's start with the training dummy here. I'm going to start off with double tap into Death Chakram, into Explosive Shot, and then I'm going to start going crazy. So we go here, Death Chakram into Explosive Shot, and then we go Aim Shot. And I'm going to pop True Shot here. Here we go. We're going to do 2 steady shots in a row really quickly. Here we go. Then we're going to go back in our rotation. Sometimes I will get charges of Kill Shot. There, I got another one there. It's not glowing right now, which is annoying. Okay, our True Shot's over. So we're going to use our spenders here. Then we're going to press Wailing Arrow. Here comes Wailing Arrow. It's going to reset this stuff. Boom, we got it all back. Isn't that crazy? Really, really good. We're going to do double steady shot to get haste. We have a talent that gives us haste. Death Chakram's back. We're going to press it. Death Kill Shot. It would have been glowing there, but it's just not. It's not popping up right now. My apologies for that. Double a steady shot here to get some more haste. Make sure we try to keep that buff up if we can. Aim shot. We're going to double tap. And then we're going to spend a little bit of this so we can do a really big rapid fire. There we go. We do have a kill shot up here, and we'll fire it off. So you can see we're hitting around 30k, and that's basically where we stay. Honestly, that's where I've been noticing I've been staying. Now, we're kind of in a drought right now, but coming up very, very shortly is Wailing Arrow once again. And we're going to use Wailing Arrow to get all of our cooldowns back, particularly rapid fire is what we're looking for. So we're going to use it right now. We do have a kill shot. We're going to fire that. Okay, we got our cooldowns back. We're going to go double aim shot into rapid fire. There's those coalescing arrows you can see there. Now, True Shot's back. Here we go. Let's go. Here we go. We do have a death shot, kill shot, sorry. It's hard to see it sometimes. We have a kill shot again. There is a tier set bonus that I'm wearing that's giving me damage whenever I use Arcane Shot. Whenever I Arcane Shot, my next aim shot will cause like a bleed, which is kind of cool. Okay, so there you go. That's basically it. We've gone through all of our rotations. Wailing Arrow is coming back. So we always want to be mindful of that. We got a lock and load proc right there, which is really good. Death Chakram. We have another kill shot proc. I'm trying not to actually just cast kill shot on the target because it's almost dead, right? So I only want to cast it when I get the proc. That's why I'm doing it that way. But you can see Wailing Arrow's back now, and we're going to use our rapid fire first, and then we're going to press Wailing Arrow. Aim shot into Wailing Arrow. Here we go. We get all of our charges back. Another rapid fire. Awesome. I actually really love that interaction. I think it's quite good. And I think it's, yeah, it's like a really, really solid way to do it. We'll do this. Get out of combat. So there we go. We did about 33k sustained damage. Aim shot, rapid fire are going to be at the top. That Master Marksman doc, guys, I'm telling you, 10% of our damage just from this little talent thing down here. So, oh, of course, we're still doing damage with that. On top of that, we're getting Serpent Sting for free. I should have mentioned that. Right down here. Serpent Stalker's Trickery. Aim shot fires a Serpent Sting, so you have permanent uptime on Serpent Sting, which is actually quite cool. Death Chakram did 5.1% of our damage, which is actually crazy. It shouldn't have done that much damage, but it just did, and it also gave us the 10% bonus damage to everything else. So it's hard to measure that. Arcane Shot clocking in at 8.5%. The tier set bonus I mentioned, I am wearing it. Arcane Shot and Multi-Shot critical hits cause your next aim shot to cause the target to bleed for 40% of the damage dealt over 6 seconds. I believe that is the hit the mark shot right here. So that's 4% of our damage. So our tier set bonus from Season 1 Dragonflight is giving us 4% more damage. Ranged auto attacks have a 15% chance to increase the critical strike chance of your next Arcane or Multi-Shot by 100%. So basically, you're always going to have Arcane Shots critting, which is why you can see there's a high crit chance here. It crits 60% of the time, my Arcane Shot. And on top of that, it made my next aim shot cause this little bleed down here with hit the mark. So that's very, very cool. On top of that, you can see Wailing Arrow, as I said, doesn't do a lot of damage on its own. 2.1% of our damage is actually okay for one talent point. But what we're really interested in is the fact that Wailing Arrow cools down and recharges our aim shots and our rapid fires. So you saw that during True Shot, you're just blasting. It's insane, right? You have True Shot, you have Double Tap, you got Death Chakram going around, you're doing crazy amounts of damage, and then you use Wailing Arrow once True Shot fades and you're all out of charges of stuff, and then there's like a 30-second drought. That's kind of what ends up happening, and you're really relying on procs like Lock and Load, for example, and to really help you get that focus back. And you really have to be kind of careful how you're playing it in that drought. But then once Wailing Arrow comes back, you're kind of back to the races, and that gets you to your next True Shot, and then you're off to the races again. So we did cast True Shot twice in a 3-minute fight. True Shot is a that would have been 4 minutes of cooldown. So True Shot's a 2-minute cooldown. We cast it twice, so we used 4 minutes of cooldown on True Shot, and we only did a 3-minute fight, not even a 3-minute fight. So if I'd played it better, I'm sure I could have even got more cooldown reduction. But that is what calling the shots is doing for us. Now, their unerring vision might just be better. I don't know, but I really enjoy getting the cooldown reduction on True Shot, so I'll have to play around with that a little bit more. But that's the build, guys. That's Marksman Hunter's single target damage in Dragonflight. It's great. 33k sustained is actually fantastic. And on the defensive side, as I said before, we're getting... Oh, sorry about that. We're getting extra bonuses from Lone Survivor. We're getting tons of healing from Exhilaration, and we still have Turtle to help us out. On top of that, Marksman Hunter doesn't have to get any of this pet nonsense over here. They can get extra bleed damage. They can get these extra cooldowns that help to buff your damage and deal damage themselves. So I really enjoy this build. I think it works out quite well, and I think that Marksman Hunter is going to be perfectly fine in a raid environment. It's got lots of damage. It's got lots of utility, things like Turtle to help soak immunities. It's got self-healing. It's great. It's really, really great. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you like these kinds of videos, be sure to like and subscribe. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think about it, and I love you guys. Till the next one, I'll see you later.